Alright, now I've got two boards, 8 feet length, and I'm about 3 5/8, 3 5/8 exactly on both boards, so it gives me a little room to play with when I decide to make my final angle cuts. But the first thing I need to do with these, now that I'm at this stage, is I have to get my radius cut the way I want it. So that's going to take some modification as far as the saw goes. You're going to need some boards, some scrap straps. A fingerboard would be nice. I have one made here. I throw it together real fast. And of course, a fingerboard is just a piece of wood that you've pretty much just cut little grooves in, and it allows for some spring, when you push against it. And what I'll end up doing is clamping this to my table so it holds the edge of my board right up against where I need it to be. Because I don't want my board to wobble, or else my Cove is going to be wobble. I mean, of course, when you're dealing with crown molding, the straighter the better. So the first thing I want to do is set this to the side, because it's time for some modifications. And I'm going to lower my blade all the way down, just to get started, which is always a good thing to do after you're done cutting anyways. But lower the blade all the way down, and then you want to take the fence off your saw. And my fence is off. Okay. Now what we need to do is find the angle that I'm trying to achieve. And seeing how I used this existing molding in the kitchen, instead of paying $88 for an 8-foot piece of this, I got these 1x8s for hardly anything, a couple bucks a board, because I just get them from the guy that has like seconds and stuff like that, and he kind of has pick. So I only pay a couple bucks a board. So right here, I mean, you figure I'm in it at maybe $1 a piece as of right now versus $88. Now, of course, this is the finished product, but when we get done, we'll have something that's very, very, very comparable to this and a whole lot cheaper. But because I'm going to be tying in my new trim to my existing trim, I have to match this Cove exactly. And to do that, the first thing you'll want to do is raise your blade up just a little bit. Okay? And you'll take a piece of trim, and like I said, this is the one I'm trying to model after. You can try it out if you're just making your own. As soon as you start your runs, you can make whatever size Cove you want. I mean, if you want a shorter Cove, a wider Cove, something that's a little bit steeper, I mean, it's all up to you. It all depends on what you do. But like I said, I'm trying to match what somebody else has created. So I'll raise my blade up just a little bit, and I'll set my piece of trim on top of the saw blade. And what I'll do is I'll rotate it until I can just feel. I got to go down just a hair with my blade. But you'll rotate it just so when you look underneath it, that you're having a tip of the blade touching all the way around your radius. So, and you'll feel the piece start to lift up when you get a little too far. So about right there is where I need it. I'm going to look in from the side and see how close we are, okay? Now right there, the blade is touching just the tips all the way across my radius. So now I know that that is the angle that I need to maintain. So now it's a matter of setting up my jig to hold that angle.